What's going on, y'all? It's Nutsack MMA, and we're here with a new video. Today, we're going to be doing a strikers tier list. So I just went on tiermaker.com, found a random UFC template because I did want to switch it up a little bit from like the usual slideshow video. So I want to make something a little different, like I said. And yeah, so basically, we're just going to be ranking fighters based off how good their striking is. From S tier being best to best, F tier being the worst of the worst. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. First off, we got Jose Aldo. Right now I'm gonna put Jose Aldo in the A tier. Jose Aldo just came off a really good win, even at this age, and Jose Aldo's always been a top tier striker. I know he's a little older now, which is why I put him in the A tier. If he was in his prime, it would be S tier, obviously. But he just outstruck, and definitely outstruck, like easily for sure, a really good striker in the bantamweight division, Jonathan Martinez. And I think Jose Aldo would strike with a lot of good people. He has really good striking IQ and he has really good defense. So yeah, I do think that he's still an A tier fighter. And I'd love to see Jose Aldo fight Henry Cejudo. I think that would be a good fight. But anyways, coming up next we got Aljo. I'm gonna put Aljo in the C tier. Aljo's okay with his striking, but it's nothing special and he has no power at all. So obviously I'm gonna put him there. Aljo's decent striker, but he's known more for his grappling, and I think his striking is okay, but I don't think it's like great. And the fact that he has no power is also a bad thing. But yeah, anyway, next guy coming up, we got Yalin Almeida. I've never seen his striking, but I'm just gonna put him in the F tier because he's a heavyweight and he's mainly a grappler. Yeah, coming up next we got Magomed. I'm gonna put Magomed in the B tier. Magomed's actually a pretty good striker. Pretty underrated striker. Most people think of him as a grappler, but Magomed, I'll put him in the A tier actually. Most people think of Magomed as a grappler, but Magomed is actually a really good striker. He's mainly a striker. He uses his striking more in fights than he uses his grappling, to be honest. But yeah, I think Magomed's a pretty good striker, so I'll put him in the A tier right next to Aldo. Coming in next, we got Arman Tsarukyan. I'll put him in the B tier. I do think Arman is a great wrestler. But he's a pretty good striker too. He did outstrike Oliveira, mainly just because Oliveira wasn't really throwing shit in that fight. He also has plans, but I'll put him above Aljo because I do think he's a better striker than Aljo. Coming up next, we got Tom Aspinall. I'm gonna put Tom Aspinall in the A tier as well, but I'm gonna put him at the top of the A tier. I don't think he's in the S tier just because he's a heavyweight, but he's in the A tier because he's about the best striking you can get at heavyweight. Knocks everyone out first round, super quick. Good kicks, great punches, great power. So yeah, I do think he's at the top of the A tier. Coming in next, we got Max Holloway. S tier, no explanation needed. Coming in next, we got Joaquin Buckley. I mean, he's alright. He's pretty good. I guess I'll put him in the B tier. I gotta watch more. I need to see better wins from him first. He did really good against Rizzy Boyev, but that was mainly because of the wrestling. He's a good wrestler too, so I'll put him right here. Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns kind of fell off with his striking, but I'll put him in the B tier just because he's probably still. I think I'm gonna pick him to beat Sean Brady. Coming next, we got Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier belongs in the A tier. Jared Cannonier is an elite striker, and I think he's super underrated just because he lost to Ima Bob. But I think Jared Cannonier is still a really elite fighter, and he's still a really elite striker. But coming up next, we got Henry Cejudo. I'm gonna put Henry Cejudo in the C tier. I think Henry Cejudo is pretty overrated when it comes to his striking. Sorry. I know he has that karate stance and like that style where it's like just rush forward, but he's not like great technically. And I do think he's pretty overrated when it comes to striking. He's mainly known for wrestling. I think Henry Cejudo is an overrated fighter in general, to be honest. But yeah, so he's gonna be in the C tier along with Aljo. I think that's a pretty good spot for him. Coming in next, we got Michael Chandler. I'm gonna put Michael Chandler in the B tier because he has great power. He almost finishes a lot of people. He has like a lot of knockouts. But he's just really sloppy. He gets chinned a lot because he overswings a lot, and he just has stupid fight IQ. These guys, like, they're way better and I'd say Michael Chandler's like on the level of these guys. But yeah, coming up next, we got Marlon Vera. I'm gonna put him at the B tier. Marlon Vera is a striker, but he never really outstrikes anyone elite. He only outstrikes like ranked 7 through 15. He only really outstrikes those guys. But like everyone in the top 5 he'd lose to, and he has pretty much lost to them. Got the shit beat out of him by Sean O'Malley, Corey Sandhagen. I would pick Peter Yan to beat the shit out of him too. So yeah, it is how it is. But he's pretty good striker, so I'll put him in the B tier. Colby Covington, I'm gonna put him in the D tier. I know Colby Covington was kind of piecing up Kamaru on the feet. Or you know what? Yeah, I'll put him in the C tier just because he was piecing up Kamaru on the feet a little bit, but I don't think he was really that good. I mean, he couldn't really do anything to Leon on the feet, and I just don't. Colby's mostly a wrestler, so he goes in this tier with other wrestlers who are also decent strikers. Coming up next, we got Paulo Costa. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. I think Paulo Costa is pretty overrated, and I don't think he's that good of a striker anymore as he used to. I think he's good enough to be like the bottom of the rank guys, but he's proven time and time again that he's just not an elite striker, so I'm not going to put him any higher, and I think his power sucks too. Coming up next, we got Dominic Cruz. I'm going to put him in the B tier as well, because Dominic Cruz probably could still outstrike a lot of people. Or actually, no, I'm putting him in the C tier. He's falling off a little bit. No, I don't know. Dominic Cruz hasn't fought in a minute, man. I'm going to put him in the C tier, just because there's more room here. Put him at the top of the C tier. How about that? Dominic Cruz hasn't fought in a minute. The last time he did fight, he got knocked out, but he was beating up Marlon Vera before he was winning. I wouldn't say beating him up, but he was winning before that fight. And I do think Dominic Cruz is still skilled. I think Jose Aldo would beat him in striking. If they fought, I think Jose Aldo would win though. I think that would also be a good fight, but I think Henry Cejudo would be a better fight for Jose Aldo. But anyways, coming up next, we got Dariush. I'm gonna put him in the D tier. Nothing special with his striking, mainly like a jiu-jitsu like position type of grappler. Pretty boring, but yeah, his striking's mid, alright. Next we got Derek Lewis. I'm gonna put him in the C tier just because he has power and like knockouts, but that's literally just because he has power and the opponents he's facing are like fat people. Heavyweights are like the least skilled people, so I wouldn't put him like as skilled of a striker as these guys, but he still gets a lot of knockouts and you still need to be skilled for that, so I'll put him here at C tier, maybe behind Cruz, maybe behind all these guys actually. But yeah, coming in next we got Charles. I'm gonna put Charles in the A tier. I think Charles is a great striker. Dropped Gaethje in like 2 seconds and knocked out Chandler. He has great striking potential. I know he couldn't touch Islam, but that's mainly based on Islam's striking defense. Coming in next we got Dricus. I'm gonna put Dricus. Oh man, I'll put him at the top 8 there. I think Dricus is a super underrated striker. Like, the man knocked out Rob. Like, who's the last person to knock out Rob? Izzy. And everyone thinks Izzy's a top 2 striker, but Dricus does it, and all of a sudden people don't think Dricus is good. And Dricus beat Sean Strickland. He arguably, well, Sean Strickland outstruck him, but Dricus did better with the striking with Sean Strickland than Izzy did. I'm just saying. Dustin Poirier, S tier for sure. Dustin Poirier, nah, I'd put him behind Max Holloway. Dustin Poirier, still a great boxer. Arguably outstruck Islam. You know, he probably did more damage to Islam. I think Islam did outstrike him though, just because he had the threat of the takedown. But yeah, I think Dustin's like a better like pure boxer than Islam, and Dustin's has a great resume and has been like an amazing striker for all these years. So I'm gonna put him in the S tier. Leon, I'm gonna put him in the. You know, I forgot to put Leon on my top 15 strikers list just because he's kind of boring. No, he doesn't really have output. I'll put him at the top of A tier. He just needs more output if he wants to be higher, in my opinion. But yeah, I think he's a good striker. He just, like I said, doesn't have output. Doesn't really have a finishing ability either. I know he had KO'd Kamaru Usman, but that was kind of like a Hail Mary. Besides that, he doesn't really have any finishes. I think he has like the lowest finish rate out of any UFC champion, which is, you know, speaks for itself. Coming in next, we got Davison Figueiredo. I'm gonna put Figueiredo at the A tier. I think Figueiredo's super underrated. Love him. He's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the A tier. Same with Gaethje. Gaethje kind of fell off a little bit after that max. I think, well, he didn't fall off a little bit because he hasn't fought ever since then, but I think he's gonna fall off a little bit. And I never thought Gaethje was that great of a striker. I always thought his striking was a little overrated. But yeah, Shogun, I'm also putting him in the A tier. Probably best pure striker at heavyweight. I'd say Aspinall's maybe a little bit better, just because what do you call it? Because he has the power. But you know, I'd say like in terms of actually being a striker, like Cirogan's better. Like, he has better kicks, better technique. I'd say they're the same speed, but I'd pick Tom Aspinall to beat Cirogan for sure though. Jeff Neal, I'd put Jeff Neal in the A tier as well. I'd put Jeff Neal in the A tier. I'm at some high B tier. Now, Jeff Neal is just not that elite of a fighter, but he's mainly known for striking, and he maintains like a top 10 position. So, you know, I'd say that's B tier worthy. Yeah, same level with like Gilbert, Buckley, and like these guys. I'd say okay, yeah. Same with Bobby Green. Bobby Green's always just like maintain stuff with the striking. Yeah, he's chinny though, but that doesn't take away from his like pure striking, I'd say. Jamal Hill's A tier, I believe. Did beat the shit out of Glover on the feet. I know he got knocked out by Alex, but Alex is gonna be in the S tier, so it doesn't really matter to me. Kevin Holland, I don't know where to put Kevin Holland, man. He's alright, I guess, but he just doesn't really beat anyone that elite. I'll put him in the top of the C tier. He's alright. He's pretty good, but yeah, he's just kind of not that elite when it comes to strike. When it comes to anything, to be honest, I think he's kind of overrated. But yeah, Ian Gary, you know, I'll put him in the A tier. Actually, Ian Gary is a good striker. He's a great striker. I know MVP beat his ass on the feet, but I'm gonna be putting MVP in the S tier, so it doesn't take away that much. I just think MVP is super good. And Ian Gary's like a contender known for basically mostly striking. Islam's gonna be in the S tier. Outstruck Dustin, outstruck Charles, arguably outstruck Volk. I don't think it's a debate. Izzy also S tier. I'm gonna put him at the bottom of S tier, man. I think he's overrated when it comes to striking, dude. I do. Jan, I'm gonna put Jan Blachowicz in the A tier because, you know, he's a 40, inactive a little bit, but he's a great striker, like pure striker I'm talking about. Yuri, I'm gonna put Yuri in the bottom of the A tier. You know, Yuri's just a little defensively gifted, I'd say. I just think he's not that. Man, his striking defense is just so bad. Like, I can't put him any higher, man. John Jones, current John Jones, I'm gonna put him at C tier because, to be honest, I haven't seen John Jones' current striking at heavyweight. He threw like a spinning back kick, I think, against Gon, and like a couple of, like, body jabs, and then he just went for the takedown. So, but he looked pretty slow. So, I'd put him in the C tier right now. Hamzat Chimaev, interesting. You know, I put Hamzat in the B tier. Hamzat has good power. He has the ability to knock people out. He dropped Gilbert Burns, outstruck Gilbert Burns. Kamaru Usman did outstrike him though, and he does gas out, so that's why I'm gonna be putting him in the B tier. Next up, we got Merab. Man, Merab's striking is pretty mid. I'm gonna put him in the D tier. I've never seen much about Merab's striking. He mainly just shoots a lot of takedowns, but yeah. Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno, I love Brandon Moreno. I'm gonna put him in the A tier. He did fall off a little bit, unfortunately, and I hate seeing it, but Brandon Moreno is truly an elite kickboxer. You know, I put Figueiredo in the A tier, cause like Brandon Moreno and Figueiredo, or I'd say Figueiredo's maybe a better striker right now just because he's been doing more recently, but yeah. Man, it sucks to see that Moreno fell off. I love him and I love Figueiredo as well. But yeah, coming next we got MVP S tier. No explanation needed. I know he doesn't have much of a resume so far, but so far, like, the two people he's annihilated on the feet. So yeah. Brian Ortega's okay. I mean, he got fucking clipped by Yair, but everyone does. So I'll put him at the top. I'll put him in C tier. Alright, he's alright. He's a decent one. Patty Pimblett, C tier. Dropped Tony Ferguson, but like everyone drops Tony Ferguson nowadays, so how impressive really is it? Pantoja, C tier. Not really good striking. Brandon Royval, who's gonna be in the B tier, top of B tier, was piecing him up on the feet. You know, I'll put Brandon. Oh, man, I don't fucking know. I'll put Brandon Royval at the top of the B tier. I think Moreno's still an elite striker, and I know Brandon Royval struck Moreno, and I think Moreno's still an elite striker, but I just don't think that Moreno. I think that Moreno's more talented striker than Royval, but I just think Moreno. Royval went into that fight with more confidence, Moreno, which was able to outstrike him, but I think I would pick Moreno, like, be a better striker than him, if that makes sense. I know it's kind of a stupid take, but maybe I'm biased for Moreno because I love him so much. But yeah, coming up next we got Alex Pereira, S tier. I think he's the best striker in the world. No explanation needed. Benoit Saint Denis. Now his striking's kind of mid. I'm gonna put him at the C tier. You know what? Nah, I'm putting him at the B tier, man. He got clipped by Dustin though. Dustin S tier, so it's like I'm gonna move Dustin down to the A tier actually. But he got clipped by Dustin, dude. Dustin's in the S tier. Like, I don't know, man. It's tough because his striking defense sucks, and I know he had staph infection, but yeah, he's getting knocked out, man. I'm gonna put him at the. Yeah, I'm keeping him B tier. Alright, I don't give a fuck. Alright, Corey Sandhagen, A tier. No explanation. Corey Sandhagen's an amazing striker. If he skinnies up, I mean, he's pretty skinny. Moves down to flyweight, he could definitely be a champion. I think bantamweight's just the most competitive division. But yeah, Shavkat, when it comes to striking, he has terrible head movement. I'm gonna put him at the B tier, maybe A tier, not B tier, B tier. Jeff Neal was lucky piecing him up on the feet. They get the. He's a great grappler though. So if we ever do a fuck my bad, if you ever do a grappling tier list, then I'll put him at the top. But yeah, Wonder Boy. As of right now, A tier. All time S tier for sure though. Oh my bad. Steve Erceg. I'll put it in the A tier as well. Just outstruck Pantoja. You know, I'm gonna put Pantoja in the low B tier. I'll put him in the low B tier. Yeah, Royval, I'll put him right here. Just because Steve Erceg did better on the striking, in my opinion, than Royval did against Pantoja. So I'm gonna put Steve Erceg right here, along with Moreno Figueroa. Sean Strickland, also gonna be in the A tier. Now Sean Strickland has the best striking defense. He just lacks a little bit of output. Coming in next, we got Shake Shawn. That's obviously gonna be S tier. I think he's the second best striker in the world, behind Alex Pereira. Tony Ferguson, as of right now, F tier. He might be the worst fighter in the UFC. I'm not even exaggerating. Ilya Taporia, S tier. No explanation needed. Knocked out Volk, one of the best, cleanest boxers I've ever seen. Jalen Turner, interesting. I'm putting him in the B tier. Actually, yeah, I'm keeping him in the B tier. I wouldn't say he's on the level like these guys up here. Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman did outstrike Chimaev, so I'm gonna put him above Chimaev. I'll put him in the B tier. So, there's Chimaev over here. So yeah, I'll put him in the B tier because I think he's better striker than Hamza, even though Hamza gassed out. Marvin Vettori, D tier, mid striker. He outstruck Roman. Yeah, maybe I'll put him right here. He's okay boxer, I guess. Like, alright. Volk, S tier, no explanation needed. I know he got chinned, but he's still an elite striker. Johnny Walker always gets chinned. I'll put him in the B tier because he's like kind of dynamic, but I'm putting him in the C tier, dude. He always gets fucking chinned. I can't put him any higher. Rob Whitaker, top of A tier. I love Rob Whitaker. Yeah, you're Rodriguez, S tier, and Peter Yan, S tier. You know, maybe you could put Rodriguez at the top of the A tier, and I'm gonna keep Peter Yan in the S tier because I think Peter Yan's elite. Or should I put him at the? I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. Okay, if I'm gonna put them down, then I'm gonna put Izzy down as well. I'm gonna put Izzy in the A tier. Peter Yan, Izzy, Yair, Rob, Wonder Boy, Poirier, and then these are the best strikers in the world. MVP, take MVP down. Volk, Ilya, Max, Sugar, and Alex Pereira. Yep, so this is my list, guys, for the ranking the best strikers in the UFC as of currently. So yeah, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all my bad in the next video. Peace.